Hi guys, it's Stacy from Clothes Live On, and today I am bringing you guys my top 10 favorite Amazon reseller products. So if you are looking to grow your business in terms of products to help you, these are my top 10 recommendations. Or if you are looking to add some items to your Christmas wish list, or potentially if you are shopping for a reseller, you can use this guide to help you. I definitely would say if you are just starting out, none of these products are necessary, but I do obviously enjoy having them in my business and they make my business run more efficiently. Therefore, I recommend them for you guys. I will have a link to my Amazon favorites list down below. You can purchase them through that link. I think I get like a tiny little commission if you purchase from that, or of course you can just search for them yourself on Amazon. So the first thing, which would be my number one recommendation if you don't have one, and that is a Dymo label printer. This is the Dymo 4XL label writer. So what it does is it prints your shipping labels on a 4x6 label, I do not use the Dymo brand labels. The labels I use are also in my Amazon favorites, but my labels actually have a white back to them, so you can write on them. You can write down your inventory number or the item, whatever you want on the back if you want to use that. So this prints out, and it's just a sticker. It'll print out, your Poshmark labels can be printed as a 4x6, so that makes it super easy. I just print it out and stick it on the package. It's a huge time saver compared to if you print out your label on a traditional printer and either cut it out or fold it and then use packing tape to put it on. This has been like such a time saver. It's been worth every penny, and if you don't have one, you need one. Honestly, this is going to be the only thing I'm going to say that like this should be your first upgrade. Your life will change from a label printer. It's just so time efficient. All right, my next favorite, and this one's actually a lot cheaper, it is the Purell wipes. So I get the large packs on Amazon. I believe you can find these even at like Target or Walmart though. So why I like these is they are a nice like soapy-esque sort of wipe. So if an item that I source has like a small stain, rather than stain treating it and washing it and all of that, I will just kind of rub this and see if I can get the stain off in a more gentle way. And I find this to be very effective for just surface stains. If it's obviously a set-in stain, this isn't going to do the trick. But for more simple stains, these have been super great for me, and I don't go through them super quickly. You could also use them to kind of wipe the bottoms of shoes. I just find these to be really nice to have around, and they don't break the bank. Another favorite of mine is this sweater shaver. So it does plug in. You have to have it into an outlet, and it plugs in at the bottom, but it's just an on-off switch at the top, and then it collects the lint down here, which can be emptied out. I used to have a Conair sweater shaver, and honestly, I didn't like those. I didn't think that they were as effective at removing lint, and those died really quickly. Like it would eat fabric and it would stop working at all. So this is again the Wonderlint sweater shaver. So this one has been really, really good to me. The only thing is it's almost too effective sometimes. I've had it eat a couple of sweaters where it'll suck up some of the fabric, not just the lint on top, and leave a small hole. But that's only happened a few times. It's not like it happens every single time. So I do still highly recommend this. I find it to be very efficient at removing any of the pilling that you see typically on like sweaters or leggings or things like that. If you don't have a sweater shaver, this is a great way to really freshen up an item, and you can get more money for it versus if it had pilling on it. Okay, my next item I'm gonna roll in. You're not really gonna be able to see the entirety of it, but it is a steamer. Specifically, I use a Jiffy steamer. I was very lucky and I found my steamer at Salvation Army, but Jiffy brand is one of the best. A lot of clothing stores use a Jiffy brand steamer. There are cheaper ones on the market, but honestly, I would suggest just saving up your money and getting a nicer one versus starting with a not good one that's not gonna work as effectively or last you as long. This isn't gonna spit water on the clothing or anything like that. I started off with a handheld steamer, which I do still use, and I will take that with me if I'm traveling and sourcing, but this is what I use like 98% of the time. So Jiffy brand, they have a few different models. There is a model with like This handle part is wood and then it's a metal up here. I just have the plastic version of that. Again, you can see what the full thing looks like in my Amazon favorites links since I can't really show the whole thing on camera, but it is expensive, but I find it to be worth it. I don't like photographing super wrinkled items. I don't think they present as nicely that way. So I don't steam every single thing that I source. I steam things that need it to present the best in photos. All right, probably a weird favorite of mine and definitely one that you can wait if you want to upgrade some other items first, but an Amazon favorite of mine is this magnet. So I have had more than one time at this point a sensor get left on items from stores. Last Chance is one where I've had a sensor left on, and stores like Clothes Mentor or Plato's Closet, they put sensors on, but they don't necessarily have like the sensors that go off when you leave the store. They're kind of just there to deter theft, but they don't go off, which means that you can walk out of a store with a sensor on and not even realize it. So this is how you get those sensors off the fastest and easiest way. It's actually what stores use a lot of times, is they just have a magnet that removes the sensors. So I love having my own. It was a little pricey. I want to say it was like a $20, $25 magnet, but it's a great tool to have on hand, because if you don't have one of these, you're going to have to like cut the sensor open, and if it's ink filled, you risk damaging the item. It's been a lifesaver and a lot easier to have a nice strong magnet on hand to remove any sensors that accidentally get left on. Okay, next favorite is Dr. Martens Wonder Balsam. Love it. So I have two containers. This is the older packaging. It is just like the silver tube, and then their new packaging is in a black tube. They are the exact same thing. I think both are sold on Amazon currently. This one I got from a Dr. Martens store. When I was traveling, I didn't have it with me and I was listing stuff in Seattle, so I grabbed one, and this is my original one. So what it is, it's just to like buff out leather and stuff. So you get your balm in there, and it comes with a tin that fits nicely on top, and then a sponge to buff it on. So I will scoop some onto the sponge, buff it onto leather shoes, leather bags. I really only use it on leather items, and then it really it'll buff out any surface scratches and things like that and really make your item look nice and fresh. They do sell a microfiber cloth that I also own, that you can use to like buff off any of the extra of the Wonder Balsam. I don't think that's necessary, but you can get it if you want. Like I said, I do have it. I just don't always use it. I use usually just this. All right, I talk a lot about Poshmark on this channel, but you probably are aware that I also sell on eBay and Mercari, and on eBay, I need a postage scale. So this is the one that I use. I think it's actually the cheapest one on Amazon, but it works great. So you just power it on. You can measure it in pounds and ounces, just ounces, or grams. So my husband will even use this to measure out coffee if he makes at home like cold brew coffee where you have to measure it in grams. It's great for eBay shipping, like I said, because I want to pay as little as possible. So I will put it down to the exact ounce that it is. So if it's 6.8 ounces, I mark it as a 7-ounce package on eBay, and then I pay less shipping versus if I had marked it as like a 9-ounce package because I guesstimated. So if you're an eBay seller, you definitely want to have a shipping scale to weigh your items. You want to weigh it with all of the packaging. So what I do is I put on any thank you stickers, I put it in the poly mailer, and I weigh that as a whole. Or if I'm using a box, I put the entire box on here with the item in it, because you want to get as accurate of a weight as possible. So you want to include packaging for that. All right, we're gonna do a 3-in-1 favorite here. So the real favorite that I want to talk about is a hanger stacker. It has let me not have my hangers stored on my rolling rack, which means that I can use the rolling rack better. If I store them all on the rolling rack, it actually takes up most of the space on there, and there's not a lot of room to move items back and forth. So having a hanger stacker has been awesome. But also the hangers that I use are from Amazon, so these are kind of a bonus outside of the 10. So these are also my favorites. I just use black velvet hangers. Velvet hangers tend to be the thinnest, so they are what I would recommend if you are upgrading your hangers is to use velvet hangers. I really liked the rose gold detailing on these. The ones I bought do come in other colors. And then I separately bought these clips that I clipped onto here so that I can use all 50 of my hangers as pant hangers if I need, or they obviously fit shirts and dresses and jackets and things like that, just over it like regular. But I really like that I upgraded it with clips. Like I said, all of them have clips, so I just grab one, and no matter what I'm hanging, whether it's pants or a top, it can go on the hangers. There's no like fussing about it. All right, we're switching sides of the room for this favorite. My next favorite is my over the door shoe rack. So this does hang on the door. My husband did have to secure it a little bit. He used like hooks on the door and then kind of zip tied it to that because it has a tendency to pull away from the door at the bottom. But this specific over the door shoe rack, as you can see, holds a ton of shoes. It gave me a lot more shoe space. Before I had one from Target, and I want to say it only held like 8 pairs of shoes. It was just not functioning for me in the way that I need. So this has been amazing. It holds so many shoes. It really helps me utilize the space that I'm working with. So I'm betting a lot of you are working in smaller spaces also, and this is a great way to store the shoes that you are selling. All right, and my last favorite is this, which you can't really see what it is. It's still folded up, but I've shown it in a lot of videos. I will try and like insert a clip if I can find it. But this unfolds and you plug it in, and it is a light box. So what I use it for is I take my shoe pictures in it and accessory pictures, things like that. I set up 2 replica surfaces, which I will actually add those to my Amazon favorites because if I can find them. They used to be on Amazon. I'm not sure if they still are, but that's also something I use. I set those up inside of this light box, and then it just surrounds the item in light. It gives it really beautiful pictures. You don't have to have replica surfaces. It comes with a built-in white background, which you can wipe clean. Again, those Purell wipes if you want. So this is a great item to have. You can put it on a table. I just set mine up on my floor and use it as needed, and then I fold it back up and store it. As you can see, it stores pretty nicely, pretty thin. I just store it over by like my window area. It doesn't take up a lot of space when it's not open, and that's good because I am working with limited space, as I said, with the shoes. So I try and utilize it the best I can, and for me that is not always having the light box out, just using it as needed. But this was a Christmas gift to me. I believe last year I asked for this light box, and I love it. I use it for every single picture of shoes that I take, and I think it really makes the lighting a lot better for small items. So I definitely recommend buying this if you don't have it. So those are all 10 of my Amazon favorites, plus the hanger and clips bonus. Like I said, if you are interested in buying anything for your business or adding it to a wish list or anything like that, everything can be found in my Amazon favorites under the reseller favorites part of that, because I do have 3 different sections to my Amazon favorites, so it can all be found there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful if you are looking to upgrade anything in your business. If you did like it, please give this video a thumbs up. And of course, if you are not subscribed to my channel, I hope you will subscribe. Click the red button down below so you never miss another one of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.